或者关系里头两个人，很多时候就是要有所改变，肯定是有一个人先去做出改变的，对不对？
对。
那样的话，假如他做，大家好，欢迎收。
这个时候就可以，我可以再去追溯一下。那我这会儿平静了，我可以告诉我，当下次遇到这样的情况的时候，我可以怎么做？就先给自己一个选。就先给自己一个选项在那里，然后等到先给自己一个选项在那里，然后等到下一次类似事情出现，因为你之前已经有过这种复盘，其实大脑里面已经给那个路开辟了一点点小缝缝了。你下次再遇到这样的情绪上头的时候，你比如说，哎呀，怎么我感觉到我好像脸发烫了，我火要上来了，这个时候就可以做一个觉察。哎，我好像那个情绪要上来了，我的那个原有的模式要出来了。
对，
停一停，我可能还没有那么快，我瞬间就走到那条路里。那我面对这个分岔路的时候，我先停一停，我先深呼吸一下，调整一下自己，然后去强迫自己试一试新方法。
对，你这个其实真的，你之前和我说过嘛，你当时让我去觉察，你之前和我说过嘛，你当时让我去觉察自己身体的反应，我就发现就是有时候面对情绪的时候，他人情绪不是我自己情绪的时候，我这个心会嘣嘣嘣的跳起来，不自觉的会跳起来，就很快跳起来。每我就是发现就是有情绪，我需要去应对的时候，我这心跳就很快，然后我后来确实就知道啊，这个就是我害怕情绪的一个反应，所以它只是我一个害怕的一个反应，既有模式的一个反应而已。我可以选既有模式的一个反应，我可以选择不去陷在这个情绪，我可以选择不去。我可以选择不去陷在这个情绪里。
对，是的。你看，这个就是说，你了解你看，这个就是。你看，这个就是说，你了解你自己出现这种情绪的时候，你会有什么反应？因为我们身体的这个反应是最先行的。
对对。
然后，因为我们身体的这个反应是最先行的。
对对。
然后你可能以往遇到这种情况，你可能
对对。
然后你可能以往遇到这种情况，你可能就会
对对。
然后你可能以往遇到这种情况，你可能就会想解释、想辩白，你可能就会。想解释，想辩白，然后呢，你到这种，哎，我心跳加快了，哎，我知道我好像这会儿有点紧张，我有害怕情绪了，哦，我只是害怕情绪而已，没关系的，你放松，其实你是有别的办法，你放松，其实你是有别的办法的，你可以做到的，然后试一试，调整自己，说点不一样的话，
对，
给自己一个新的选择，然后你这么做完之后，可能
Wait, actually, didn't I watch the whole thing already? 9:29.
肯定是会相应的，根据我的改变而慢慢也会产生改变的。
只要是正常人应该都会有，对吧？
对，只是不会那么快。可能是慢慢的，但会看到一些改变的。然后这种改变也对你是一个正反馈。
对，其实按照你这个说法，就是我最早提到这个 comfort zone，舒适区，对。就是他其实首先得从自己出发，这是没有任何问题的。但他也需要一定的反馈，这样才能慢慢的突破。
No, I think I've not been there yet.
给自己一个新的选择，然后你这么做完之后，可能，有可能会带来新的 对方的一个反馈，也有可能不会。就是如果带来了一个新反馈，你就告诉自己你做到了，很棒。那么他就如果没做到，你告诉自己你迈出了新的一步，依然你迈出了新的
迈出。
你迈出了新的一步，依然很棒。
就是
依然很棒。
就是自我夸奖，很棒哦，这样。
因为只有这种自我激励跟肯定，才能让，因为只有这种自我激励跟肯，
自激的激，激励。刺激。
跟肯定，才能让你的大脑对这个东西印象更加深刻。
就像喂了一颗糖一样。就像喂了一颗糖一样。
你下次才能有。
就像喂了一颗糖一样。
你下次才能有，你下次才能有，有更多的动力去选择这个模式。有更。有更多的动力去选择这个模式。有更多的动力去选择这个模式。你说，如果它一直是一个负反馈的方式，就是我在这边改。你说，如果它一直是一个负反馈的方式，就是我在这边改变，但我得到的都是负反馈，不光是对方的反馈，包括我自己都有很多负反馈，不光是对方的反馈。
等一下。
反馈，包括我自己都有很多负反馈。那么我，包括我自己都有很多负反馈。那么我就可能不愿意再走这个。那么我就可能不愿意再走这个。
你说到这里，让我想到就是，其实现在婚姻里头或者关系里头，两个人很多时候就是要有所改变，肯定是有一个人，两个人。
有所 somewhat。
人，或者关系里头两个人，很多时候就是要有所改变，肯定是有一个人先去做出改变的，对不对？
对。
那样的话，假如他做的那样，
对
不对？肯定是有一个两个人，很多时候就是要有所改变，肯定是有一个人先去做出改变的，对不对？
对。
那样的话，假如他做的一些改变都得不到很好的反馈的话，是不是这个就很难真正的落实下去？是不是这个就很难真正的落实？
实现。
落实。
落实下去。
我脑子中第一个蹦出来的想法哦。
I like this sentence. 我脑子中的，我脑子中的一个蹦出来的想法。我脑子中的一个蹦出来的想法。我脑子中的一个蹦出来的想法。我脑子中的一个蹦出来的想法。蹦出来的想法。
我脑子中第一个蹦出来的想法。
我脑子中的一个蹦出来的想法。我脑子中的一个蹦出来的想法。Is the same as 崩溃? Probably not. No, not exactly. Yeah, not exactly. 崩溃。And it's not the same as 犯规, right? The 规? No, not exactly either. The radical is different. That one looks like food, sure, isn't it? How do I check that? Oh, I can search like this. Oh, that's nice. What's the C? I don't know. How do I search for the radical? Here. Yeah, let's go. Sure. Nice. That one is 崩溃，是不是？ No, it's not. That one is 反馈 feedback. 崩溃 is water. Yeah, and what about 崩？ Shan is a radical. Okay. Let's see. Tac. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
其实，你不能去说所有的婚姻关系。我只能说，你不能去说所有的婚姻关系。你不能去说所有的婚姻关系。我只能说一部分。因为 确实也有一些很离谱的状态，
ridiculous，离谱。
因为确实也有一些很离谱的状态，一些很离谱的人，这个一些很离谱的人，这个确实是有的。你比如说家暴，那你比如说家暴，
家暴 domestic violence. What is 暴 here? Is that violence? Yeah, it's violent. So I could do this. 暴露风暴 storm 暴力 violence 家暴 OK Damn, that's a lot. There are so many. It's crazy. One day I'll learn those 成语. That would be so cool. That would be really cool. What is 家暴 here? Abbreviation for 家庭暴力. Ah, 家庭暴力. I see. 家庭
那你说你这种改变你比如说家暴，那你说你这种改变你说你这种改变你面对这样一个异性，你面对这样的一个异性，你做这些东西都是徒劳的，我觉得。
对，
你做这些东西都是徒劳的，我觉得。
徒劳 futile
对
futile not sure futile
Futile.
no not in French
Feudal.
futile
Feudal.
futile
Feudal.
futile it's very futile it's very futile got it
对，
就是有病啊，说实话。
对，是的，这个对是
就是有病啊，说实话。
对，是的，这个就不能说是啊，我还在调整我自己，看他会不会再继续家暴我，看他会不会再继续家暴我，这个就看他会不会再继续家暴我，这个就真的不要去做尝试，直接如果
我同意真的
尝试直接如果有能力直接终止就好，如果有能力直接终止就好。
终止 stop I didn't know this either 终止 same as 停止终止
直接终止就好。
嗯
但我能想到就是正常的夫妻，正常状况下正常的夫妻，正常的夫妻，正常状况下的，当你其实在做这个改变，正常状况下的，当你其实在做这个改变的时候，你其实要带着一个目标，而不是，当你其实在做这个改变的时候，你其实要带着一个目标，而不是就带着一个目标是，我希望我们的关系变好，然后我在我们的关系里面能够吸取养分，我在我们的关系里面能够吸取养分。
Young Fan is probably something about nourishment. Nutrient, yeah. Nourishment. 吸取。
然后我在我们的关系，我在我们的关系里面，我在我们的关系里面能够吸取养分，我在我们的关系里面能够得到爱、快乐、支持。你听到这所有东西都是关于自己，你听到这所有东西都是关于自己的，你听到这所有东西都是关于自己的，
我自己，
对，是关于自己的。但如果你说，我做改变，我是为了你，我是为了让我们这个家更好，我是为了让你更好，我为了我们这个家一直在付出，我为了我们这个家一直在付出，一直在怎么样，一直在付出，一直在怎么样。当带着这样的状态的时候，就是为他人付出的这样一个视，就是为他人付出的这样一个视角的时候，
变成抱怨，
这样一个视角的时候。这样一个视角的时候，
变成抱怨，
这样一个视角的时候，
Futile. It's a futile of the conversation. It's a futile conversation.
这样一个视角的时候，
变成抱怨了吧？
你就
变成抱怨了吧？变成抱怨了吧？变成抱怨了吧？
这样一个视角的时候，
变成抱怨了吧？
Damn. He speaks so fast.
你就得不到回馈，就非常容易，你就得不到回馈，就非常容易抱怨，就非常容易抱怨，但其实我们不是说我们刻意要给大脑，但其实我们不是说我们刻意要给大脑中，但其实我们不是说我们刻意要给。 但其实我们不是说我们刻意。但其实我们但其实我们不是说我们刻意要给大脑中，我们刻意要给。我们刻意要给大脑中植入这么一个想法，我们刻意要给大脑中植入这么一个想法。其实这个才是，这个才是每个人改变的最真实、最真实的目标，应该设立为自己。最真实的目标应该设立为自己。对，利己没有什么问题。我们人对利己没有什么问题。我们人活着，其实首先就应该要好好的爱自己。其实首先。
Yeah, I agree with this. 首先应该爱自己。Hello, Blift. Long time no see. How you doing?
其实首先就应该要好好的爱自己。
人不为己。One should not only consider one's own interests. 人不为己。
为己天诛地灭，天诛地灭。
对，你自己有能量爱你自己了，你才真的有可能，你才真的有可能真正的去爱别人，爱孩子，你才真的有。
Practicing writing or what? No, I never practice writing, to be honest. It's not my priority. Don't really care about writing. No, I was just taking notes. Things I need to do later. 100%. How's life on your side? What have you been up to these days, recently?
还真的有可能自己有能量爱你自己了，你才真的有可能。
Great.
你才真的有可能真正的去自己有能量爱你自己了，你才真的有可能真正的去爱别人、爱孩子，你才真的有可能真正的去爱别人、爱孩子、爱伴侣、爱父母。你自己如果对自己都不那么爱、不那么在意，
I agree with this. I agree with this. I think she writes on this. She's right on this.
对自己的评价很低，那么其实你反馈给对自己不那么在意，对自己的评价很低，那么其实你你自己如果对自己都不那么爱、不那么在意，对自己的评价很低，那么其实你反馈给别人的信息也未必都是，那么其实你反馈给别人
Feedback, right? 反馈. Wait. Yeah, it's been. Wait, what? How come I feel like I forgot this word where. But I know this forever. Huh. That's weird. 反馈. Of course I know this. 反馈. Feedback. What?
对自己的评价很低，那么其实你反馈给别人对自己的评价很低，那么其实你反馈给别人的信息也未必都是，那么其实你反馈给别人，那么其实你反馈给，那么其实你反馈给别人的信息也未必都是很健康的，也未必都是很健康的，所以一定要先爱自己。怎么爱自己呢？就是你想想到底怎么样让
It's funny that she has this kind of speech, whereas she's quite pessimistic. This is not something I'm assuming or I'm guessing. I mean, from another video of them, they mentioned that she was very pessimistic, and here she has a speech. She's talking about like you have to love yourself and stuff, which to me, yeah, I mean it's not necessarily a contradiction, because you can love yourself and be pessimistic, but maybe oftentimes it's the case that pessimistic people also do not have that much of love for themselves. I don't know. Nothing, just reading and watching stuff. Cool. That's a nice emoji, Pikachu. I didn't know there was such an emoji here on Twitch. Like a cynic. Huh. I don't know what a cynic is exactly. Cynic meaning a person who distrusts people. Okay, one who believes that people act only in self-interest. Okay. But that's different definition, I feel, but okay. Look at the lower one. This one or that one, maybe. A person who believes that people are motivated purely by self-interest. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's think about this. Am I a cynic? Wait, cynic is an adjective or what? A cynic person, yeah. Am I a cynic? Do I consider myself to be cynic?
Cynic.
I would tend to say yes, because I think most of humanity in general do act for their self-interest. But I'm trying to also think of people like Gandhi or Nelson Mandela or very important figures that have been that fought very hard for human rights and stuff like that. And I'm wondering if those people acted by self-interest or not, and I feel like I don't think so. Cynicism, yeah. Can you say that Nelson Mandela and like people like Gandhi and all of those great people were acting by self-interest, motivated by self-interest? Probably not, because I would imagine they would be tired at some point, tired to fight that hard and get so much negative feedback and still continue to push themselves. I think they're not driven by self-interests. I don't think so. But I would say that most of the people on earth are motivated by self-interest. And just that's just the nature of capitalism to me. Capitalism is that you really want to make your own money, you want to gather goods, you want to gather assets, you want to make money, you want to be powerful. And that's very selfish, honestly. I think capitalism in essence is selfish, is cynical. Yeah, that would be my point of view. What do you think, Plift? But I don't think that's what she's trying to say here. I think she's trying to say that in order to be able to love people, to give good feedback, to just be a good person, you have to love yourself first. That's a prerequisite. And I agree with that. I think if you don't love yourself, you'll be in general a very negative person, and it will be challenging for you to have positive conversation and interaction with people around you. I think you need to love yourself to be able to do that. But yeah, I'm interested to know what you think about cynicism, Plift. Like, do you consider yourself as a cynic person? Do you believe that people act because they're motivated by their self-interest, or you don't believe in that?
获得一个健康的关系，到底怎么样让自己获得一个健康的关系？怎么样让自己在这个关系里面更轻松更舒适，那么你就可以去更轻松更舒适，那么
Sure, cozy, comfortable.
那么你就可以去，我带着这样的目的，那么你就可以去更轻松更舒。
The way you describe ethics and self-interest reminds me of Plato describing Ring of Riches. Whoa, damn. I have no idea what this is, but let me look it up. That's really interesting. The Ring of Riches. How do you pronounce this? There's a video for this.
Ring of Gyges.
Gyges? Okay, let's here. No, Gyges. Ring of Gyges. Okay, anyway, so what is this? Is a hypothetical magic ring mentioned by the philosopher Plato in Book 2 of his Republic. It grants its owner the power to become invisible at will. Okay. Grants total invisibility. No one knows you have it. Totally free to act in in any way you desire without suffering social or legal judgment. Would you use it? Would there be limits on its use? Why not use it to satisfy your every desire, gain power, and crush enemies? This is so interesting. This is so interesting. Okay, let me think about it. Grants total invisibility. So that basically mean that you can pretty much do whatever you want and there will be no consequences. Is that correct to say that? Let me ask ChatGPT for his thought on this. In a hypothetical, I don't know, discussion, if I have the ring of judges, does it mean I can... No, I don't want ChatGPT to explain to me like what is the ring of judges, but more like a little bit more context on this, because I want to understand if I have it, can I use it? And basically it means that there is no consequences at all. Because here it says it grants total invisibility and no one knows that you have it, but I don't know, if I do something very bad and it involves people, like they'll know I've done, like there's a little bit of things that I'm not super clear about. Does it mean that I can do whatever I want without any repercussion and consequences? Without being sealed or held accountable. This could suggest that you could do whatever you want without facing external consequences from society, laws, or other individuals. There's still some important consideration. Internal consequences. Yeah, okay. Enforcing consequences. Okay, sure. Theoretical limits. Okay. Oh yeah, so that's important. Because that means like you're not totally, you cannot do whatever you want and feel completely serene that no one is gonna find you, because there might be some evidence and you might be held accountable, which is kind of contradicting with this, but okay. Ethical perspective. That's so interesting. What would I do if I can use this? I'm mainly referring to the discussion around the rig, not so much about it. Having given both to the just and the unjust powers to do what they will, let us watch and see whither desire will lead them. Then we shall discover in the very act the just and unjust men to be proceeding along the same road, following their interest, which all natures deem to be their good, and are only diverted into the path of justice by the force of law. Okay, I'm not sure I understand this quotation, to be very frank. But I'm trying to think whether I would use this ring or not. No. The question is whether I would use this ring for bad things. And there are definitely bad things that appeal to me, to be very frank. But I also know that it would provide short-term satisfaction. And I also know that in the long term, that would destroy me. So the actual question is whether I have the willpower to resist short-term satisfaction in order to save my long-term satisfaction and happiness. To be frank, I'm not sure. It's almost, because I asked this question myself before, but not in this context of the ring, but more in the context of imagine I'm rich. I'm so rich, money cannot be a problem anymore. Like, I'm talking about limitless amount of money. Would I do things that I consider immoral right now that I'm not rich? And I don't want to give example because we are live. But I have a couple of examples in my mind. If I was rich, there's a couple of things I would think of doing. Things that I'm not sure how to judge. Like things I'm not sure are immoral or just they are basically borderline between immoral and okay. And if I was completely rich, or if I had the ring of Gyges, for example, it would be a matter of, am I strong enough? Because I know, inherently, I know that those things that I'm thinking about would actually destroy me in the long term, in the sense that I would feel shame and guilt. That's for sure. But I also know they would bring a lot of satisfaction in the moment. So the actual question is whether I would have the willpower to, because right now the question doesn't even apply, because I don't even have this ring or that much money, so I don't even care. But theoretically, if I had that power, would I use it for bad things or things that I consider borderline between immoral and okay? And I don't know. It would be a matter of willpower. And I'm not sure I have it. I don't know. Philosophy and ethics is hard English. Don't sweat it. Hard subject in any language. True. Have you seen Exurbia on YouTube? Nope, I don't know this. Damn, he's famous.
Our species probably began about 200.
Huh. That's cool. Thanks for recommending this to me. I'll probably have a look. Do you think if you were conditioned to feeling this shame because of laws? No, I don't think I have been conditioned to feel this because of laws, because I honestly don't really care about laws, but I feel that I'm conditioned to feel this because of moral, and I think moral is something we educate children to feel. I am not sure that moral is an intrinsic thing. I don't think moral is something you are born with. I think moral is something you're taught. And I do think that way because if you look at animals in general, so again, I don't know, can we compare animals and humans? I don't know, because we are very different. But if you look at animals, they are very harsh and cruel with one another. I don't know, you look at any kind of animal, they fight for power, they fight for the female, you know, they kill their own species sometimes. That's considered normal for some animals. and there's no moral about this. This is just how nature is, right? We don't say, hey, this I don't know, this shark, I don't know, what kind of animal kill its own species? Maybe lions. Maybe I think lions fight for females and stuff. So we don't say lions are immoral, right? That's like moral is something linked to human only. And I think this is something we introduce to make sure that we can live in society with peace, and which is a good thing, really. But I think it has been invented, or it has been cultivated in some ways. So wait, why would I lost the train of my thoughts. Yeah. So I think I'm conditioned to feel guilt and shame if I do something immoral because of education. Yeah, I think because in the eyes of the world, in the eyes of the universe, there's not such a thing as morality. It is just, for example, if we destroy the earth, it's a very bad thing in the reference point of the earth or the people living, or the species living on this earth, because they are destroyed. But in the eyes of the universe, this is nothing. Like every day there are stars arising and there are stars disappearing. This is not something new, and there's nothing wrong or good or anything moral about this. This is just something that happened. So if we destroy Earth, so if we pollute Earth, all of those things are bad because of the reference point, like because we are human and because we live on Earth, and because if we take this from this perspective, then those things are bad. But from the universe perspective, there's nothing wrong about this. So in that sense, doing immoral things is only bad in the context of your humanity, right? But knowing this doesn't make me want to do those things either, because I still remain a human, and I don't think I can get rid of my morality that easily. So if I do something that I consider very bad towards another human being, I'll still feel very bad about myself, I think. Anyway, if you were born into a lawless area, would you have the shame, you think? Yeah, again, yeah, it's kind of the same question. I think lawless is not the point here. Because you can have a lawless area, but still with morality. I think it's possible. Like, let's say killing people is not banned or it's not illegal, but killing people might still feel like the wrong thing to do. I could imagine a society like this, and that's morality, right? So but the real question is, if I was born into a society that is deprived of morality, so in other words, a society where there is no morality whatsoever, would I feel the shame? I think no. I wouldn't feel any shame at all, because again, I think shame and guilt are introduced because of morality, and morality, I think it's something you are taught. It's something that we are educated around. It's not. I don't think morality is something that we are born with. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm definitely gonna watch this. Thanks a lot for recommending this to me. It's really interesting. Anyway, let's go back to Chinese. I love this discussion though. I really like those discussions. 舒适 comfortable
更轻松、更轻松、更舒适，那么你就可以去，哎，我带，那么你就可以去，哎，我带着这样的目的，那么你就可以去，哎，我带着这样的目的，那么我去调整，我去想办法跟对方沟通。我去想办法跟对方沟通，然后改变。我去想办法跟对方沟通，然后改变这个方式，然后改变这个方式。因为我们都说，你说就是在一个正常的一个你说就是在一个正常的一个有沟通困难的一个有沟通困难的这个夫妻关系里面，我一个有沟通。一个有沟通困难的这个夫妻关系里面，你说就是在一个正常的一个有沟通困难的这个夫妻关系里面，我这边做改变。
Have you ever tested and trained yourself on like Chinese tones, like minimal pairs or something? I'm sure there's a site for it. Good question. No, I've not tested myself and I've not trained on that. I don't know what to think about this really. Like perception. What do you mean about this? Perception. I think pronunciation is really important. And it's really important to me, at least. So that's that. For example, in English, I really try my best to have a good American pronunciation. That's why I try to look up for the pronunciation often when I speak. And in Chinese, I would also like to have a good pronunciation at some point. Like my Chinese goal is to become fluent, is to kind of have the same level of my English. Like my English is not perfect, far from it, but I feel comfortable enough to have a normal discussion. I'm able to watch movies. I'm able to have a conversation with a stranger without any difficulty. I can work in English. Like I can do pretty much everything in daily life with English. So I'm happy with that. And I would like my Chinese to be the same level. And I also want to have a very good pronunciation in Chinese, like near native. Having said that, I have not been practicing my pronunciation that much so far. Like I'm trying to, when I repeat stuff, I'm trying to do my best to have a good pronunciation and authentic tones and stuff. But I have not like deliberately went to a site and like try to practice only my pronunciation. This is something that doesn't really appeal to me so far, but I'm also not against trying it. I'll feel okay to try it. But also, so far, I'm having difficulty understanding conversation in Chinese. So I feel like this is a little bit more important than pronunciation right now. But of course, you could argue that you need to have a good pronunciation from the start, from the get-go, so that you don't develop bad habits. And you might be right if you say this. But also, I would argue that my English pronunciation wasn't hasn't always been like this. Like I had very strong French accents at the start, at the beginning, when I started learning English. And I think I was able to modify it and to improve on it with time and just with sheer practice. And I didn't really stress over it. I didn't really stress myself over it. I don't know. I'm not too sure about this, honestly. I might be wrong, but I feel like I'll focus more on pronunciation later on. And yeah, I don't know. I had to train pitch accent early on so that so you can more easily pick it up naturally. Whoa. Okay, so that's for Japanese only, right? Okay.
加藤
Uh-huh. Okay. Well, I have no idea.
トレーナーブラブラ点晴れる地味
Fuck.
鉄鋼悲鳴
God damn it.
ガラガラ地帯信州
泡
武将かかり
Okay, I'm getting good.
就寝
What?
投射
Oh, god damn it. Okay, I'm not that good.
貝伸び小丹河川名取土地賃金
Whoa, okay.
臓器
Damn. Okay.
形
All
成
right. I thought I had the hang of it, but actually not. It's okay. I don't know what to think about this. Japanese speech accent has been shown to not be naturally gained from mass immersion for native English speakers. Unless your language uses pitch like Chinese Japanese, you probably have to study it on its own. This is such a good insight, Plift. By the way, this is the easy part of pitch accent in Japanese. You should ace this. Fuck. But I've never learned Japanese. Don't be too harsh. I don't even recognize those characters. So this is a good insight though. Like Japanese pitch accent has been shown to not be naturally gained from mass immersion for native English speakers. This is really a very important insight, because that pretty much it means that I have to study it on its own at some point in my learning language process. Like, this is not something you can just avoid. But then my question is, can I just study it after a while? Because right now in my Chinese learning process, I'm not outputting a lot, and this is by I do this voluntarily, because I think input is more important at this stage. So that's also why focusing on pronunciation might feel a little bit not a waste of time, but almost, because I won't have a lot of opportunities to actually practice my pronunciation because I don't speak that often Chinese. However, at some point when my Chinese will be a lot better, I'll have a lot more conversation in Chinese, and I think at that point of time I can focus on pronunciation more, and I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense, but maybe knowing the accent and all those subtleties at first might help my input as well. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure about this, but I also want to. There's also another angle that we can look from, is that learning a language is, and I say this often, learning a language is such a tough and long process that you have to enjoy it. It's not something. Wait, there's a word I'm looking for. I mean, it's mandatory. You have to enjoy it, because otherwise you're gonna give up at some point. So so I also try to do things I'm enjoying, and right now listening to podcasts and watching videos is something I enjoy doing. These kind of tests, it's not my thing really. Like, I can do them, but I don't take pleasure doing those. So yeah, there's also this that I take into consideration. Um, I know a lot of Chinese natives that I talk with. I know a lot of Chinese natives that I talk with about pitch accent. You can study it later, but it's less efficient. You should learn the tones as you learn the words. No, but this is different. Okay, so is pitch accent the same as tones? Because I'm learning the tones as well, for sure. Like, this is something I focus on. Like, when I learn 正常, I'm trying to, I'm trying to focus on the tones. So 正常. So I'm definitely remembering the tones as well, and I'm trying to produce the sound accurately. So that I'm doing already, but I wouldn't say that I'm doing an excellent job at it. I'm trying my best, but I also don't stress myself over it too much. Because there's another thing, is that in Chinese, if you want to sound like a native, if you want to sound natural, you have to focus on the tones in specific words in your sentence. It's like in English, you have to emphasize on some words in your sentence, right? So in some words, the tones are not that important, because it's not the focus on of the sentence, if you know what I mean. Like, 我是一个很好的人. Like, 人, you have to say it correctly, but 很好的人, like, there's more leeway for you to make a slight mistake, because it's not the focus on the sentence. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Also, tones is more important in Chinese than Japanese. Yes, I agree with that. Although I don't know Japanese, but I think there is no Japanese accent to me is like English accent. It's better if you want to sound natural and native, but it wouldn't lead to much misunderstanding, although it can happen. But in Chinese, it's crazy, because you can say a totally different word if you don't use the tones correctly. Yeah, maybe I wasn't clear. Pitch accent is like Chinese tones cousin. Okay, got it. By the way, the pitch test is just to train you to hear it. Once you do that, it's the actual learning. By the way, the pitch test is just to train you to hear it. Once you do that, Okay, I didn't get this sentence. By the way, the pitch test is just to train you to hear it. Once you do that, so once you hear it, that's the actual learning. Okay. Yeah, so it's basically, am I understanding well that this pitch test is just for you to unlock this realization that there is such a thing, and that from then on you can realize that you can pay attention to it in discussion, in when you hear, you actually pay attention to the pitch accent, and this pitch test is something that unlock this ability to recognize it. Present. Hey, that's good. I didn't know this. Present and present. Is it because present might be the actual moment and present is the gift? I don't even know. I didn't know this. I think that's a question I can ask ChatGPT. Is there a difference in the syllable and phrase size? Present, gift, present, like a presentation. Wow, nice. I didn't know that. Present is of course the verb. Cool. I didn't know this. But here again, I mean, so there are those kind of subtleties in French as well. And as a French, I don't even know them, and I get them wrong too. But that doesn't prevent me from sounding like a French and also getting my point across, and I'm not laughed at by doing those very, very subtle mistakes. And actually, I wasn't even aware of those mistakes until the girlfriend of my dad, who is a French teacher, told me, commented on some of my sentences and say, hey, by the way, you have to say it that way in French. I'm like, what? I didn't even know that. So I think present and present and present is kind of the same stuff. I didn't know about this, and I think it matters almost none, almost zero. I don't really care about this. I think it's great to know, but if you really want to pay attention to this, it's gonna slow your speech flow by a lot, and it's gonna be tough to have a smooth speech because you're gonna think about this too much. So I actually think it's counterproductive, really. But this is stress accent, not pitch. Okay, so yeah, I got it. So it doesn't help with naturally learning pitch and tones. Got it. Okay, there's a difference here. But yeah, that's really interesting. Stress accent, yeah, that's the correct semantic. So stress accent is something I'm trying to improve in my English enunciation. Yeah, but I also don't stress too much over it, because at the end of the day, even when I had a very strong French accent, I still have a French accent, but I think it's getting lesser and lesser. When I had a very strong French accent, I still got my point across, and people were fine with it. There's even some people finding this cute, to be honest. So, yeah, some girls like it. So you might even want to live it like that. Yeah. Tones. No. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. Tones actually matter, because otherwise you're saying another word. So that's like when you okay, I have to go, like after I finish this sentence, I really have to go because I need to cook. But yeah, so tones really matter, because if you don't pronounce the tones correctly, you're saying another word. Of course, in the context of a sentence, you might still be understood because you're saying the whole phrase and there's a conversation going on. So if you don't just pronounce one word, but you pronounce a sentence among a conversation, you might be okay with it. But that's not a reason to make mistake. I think tones are really, really important. They are part of the words, and that's something I'm striving to get right. So definitely. Anyway, Plift, thank you so much for the nice discussion around the philosophy stuff. I'm gonna watch this YouTube channel, super interesting. And also thank you for the discussion around tones and pitch and stress accents, super interesting. And then I'll see you next time, and I'll probably be live this afternoon again, so feel free to pass by. And again, thanks a ton. All right, bye bye, cheers. Euh, 84. Okay, I really need to go.